Hello everyone. Today in this video lecture, I am going to explain about the simulation of a single phase AC voltage controller with the R and RL load at different firing angle. So before going to start with the simulation, just I want to explain about what is this AC voltage controller, or what is called bidirectional AC voltage controller, in which we are going to control both positive half cycle as well as negative half cycle. So you can see here. So T1 will take care of positive half cycle, control over this positive half cycle, and T2 will take care of control over the negative half cycle. So you can see from 0 to pi, T1 will be in forward bias condition. So I can trigger T1 at any instant of time from 0 to pi. So I have given triggering pulse to T1 at this particular point. So from this particular point onward, the output voltage follows the input voltage. Since the load is resistive load, the current and the voltage are in phase. Similarly, to control the negative half cycle, I need to trigger the thyristor which is connected anti-parallel to the T1. So it is triggered at pi plus alpha. So from pi plus alpha onwards, the output voltage follows the input voltage, that is through T2, because firing pulse given to T2 at pi plus alpha. And due to resistive load, the current and the voltage, they are in phase. Right, you can see here mode 1, mode 2. Mode 1 about positive half cycle, mode 2 about negative half cycle. Right. So with this small idea, now I will try to simulate the AC voltage controller. So to simulate that, let me open the MATLAB model. Here you can see the MATLAB model. Now I am going to open the new Simulink model. Here you can see the new Simulink model. Right here I am going to build the circuit, and I want to simulate for like 2 cycles, which 2 cycles means for 50 Hz frequency it will be 0.04 second. Right. So here if I see the AC voltage controller, I need to have 2 thyristors, T1 and T2, right? Then I need to have a single phase supply. Then there is a load at the output side, right? So now to build this circuit, we need to open the MATLAB Simulink model, and we need to click on the Simulink model. Then we need to go to the library browser, and we need to search for the required element like a thyristor, source, voltage measurement block, current measurement block. Keep on adding those to the new model and make the connection as per the circuit configuration. Then in order to measure the voltage, we need to connect a voltage measurement block across the element. To measure to see the current, we need to connect a current measurement block in series with the component. And thereafter, we will observe the current wave shape and the voltage wave shape. Right. So now I will go to the Simulink model directly. Here you can see the Simulink model. Here I can build the circuit. So let me search the component one by one. So here first we want what is called AC supply. Right. So AC voltage source. Right here you can see AC voltage source, and that is being added to the new untitled model. Right, thereafter I need thyristor. Right here you can see the thyristor which I can add to model untitled. Right, then we need to have pulse generator to give the firing pulses to the thyristors. Right, thereafter I need to have series RLC branch. Then voltage measurement to measure the voltage. and then current measurement to measure the current wave shape or current magnitude, right? Then scopes to see all voltage waveforms, current waveforms in a scope, right? Then I will take mux also, where I can take two input at a time, right? So here you can see, let me write. So you can see here all the components I have added here. So I will extract one by one. Okay, now I will build a circuit. So here the input is 50 head supply and 230 volts I will take because it is single phase, right? Then it is connected to thyristors, where two thyristors are connected anti-parallel. So let me, this is thyristor T1, which will take care of positive half cycle, and T2 will take care of negative half cycle. Right, the cathode and anode short circuited, anode and cathode they are short circuited like this. Then the voltage source is connected like this, and thereafter the output side of this AC voltage controller, we are going to connect a 2 ohm resistor. First we will go for what is called the resistive load, then I will go for the resistive inductive load. So to see the current, I need to connect a current measurement block in series with the resistor, that is load, and to see the voltage of a load, we need to connect a volt measurement block parallel to the load, right? Then see, I need to fire this thyristor at alpha. So that is, which means, as I told you, I have given 50 Hz supply. So if I see for 50 Hz supply, so this is one cycle. So to complete one cycle of 50 Hz, that means it is taking a time duration of 0.02 second. 0.02 second, which means one cycle means it is a 360 degrees. Okay, so for 1 degree, I need to write 0.02 divided by 360 degrees. Let us say if I want to fire this thyristor at 30 degrees, I need to multiply by this by 30 degrees. And here it is 30 degrees, right? So let me give the firing pulses here. So time duration is 50 Hz, means 0.02 second. Pulse width I will take 2%. And time delay, that is the main criteria you need to set. It is 0.02 multiplied by, I need to fire at 30 degrees. Then 360 degrees total time period. Okay, then if T1 is triggering at alpha, T2 has to trigger at pi plus alpha, right? So to have pi plus alpha, now here I need to add 30 degrees plus 180 degrees. After 180 degrees, thyristor T2 come into picture. So now that I need to give to the gate terminal of T2, right? So now I can connect a scope at the output side of the AC voltage controller to see what is the voltage waveform, what is the current waveform. All those things I can easily see. To see the input pulse or input waveform, I need to connect a voltage measurement block there. And see, I need to take 4 inputs to the scope. That is why number of axes for the scope is 4, right? Then I will increase the line width to 3, and see, I want to take the output in a white page. So you can see here now. Here I can take first one is the input voltage waveform. Second one is the firing pulse given to resistor T1. Third one is the firing pulse given to T2, which will control the negative half cycle. And the last one, I will take mux. Right? From mux, there are two input to the mux. One is the output current, second is the output voltage, and that is given to the scope. So this is the complete circuit. Now in order to run this complete model, I need to have a power V that will, this power V will run the complete model. Now we will fix this as discrete type. Right now, okay, now I will run the system and let me see whether I am getting the waveform as discussed in the document or not. Right, let me run this one for 2 cycles, that is 0.04 time period. And now you can see here. Okay, now let me increase the line width for second line. So let me replace with black color. That is a current wave shape. Okay, so it is increased to, let us 3. Now you can see. So now this is what our input voltage, and it is taking 2 millisecond. 2 millisecond. That means 0.002 second to complete one cycle. And here, this is what 30 degrees, alpha 30 degrees, where T1 is triggered. So from here on, the output voltage follows the input voltage, black line you can see. The red line is for the output current wave shape. And here from this particular point onwards, T2 will be in conducting state, and it will control the negative half cycle. And you can see the output current wave shape, which is in phase with the output voltage wave shape. Right? So like that, I can trigger the thyristors at required time duration, and I can get the required output voltage, which is a AC. We are controlling just voltage, right? Let me run it for some 60 degrees now. So now 30 is replaced by 60, and here also it is 30 has to be replaced with 60. Then 60 plus 180 is a firing pulse given to thyristor T2, and you can see here. You can see here. Now this is the wave shape. Now this is at alpha equal to 60 degrees, right? And this will be at pi plus 60 degrees. You can see the output voltage is following the input voltage from alpha equal to 60 degrees onwards, and the output current and the output voltage, they are in phase due to resistive load, right? So like that, you can control the voltage, and you can achieve any voltage at a constant frequency. Now I will take output at different values of firing angle, and I want to show you all the output waveforms at a time. like for 30 degrees, 0 degrees, 60, 90, and 120, right? So now first cycle, this figure, I want to show you at alpha 30. Then I will go for alpha 60. And I want to show all the waveforms at a time at different values of firing angle. Now I don't want to see this firing pulse, right? I just want the output voltage and output current wave shape, right? So I can remove this one, right? Can remove this one. Now this first one is at alpha equal to 30 degrees. Second one is alpha equal to 60 degrees. Similarly, I will take two more circuit like this. This is for alpha equal to 90 degrees. And I will copy. And this is at alpha equal to 120 degrees, right? So first one is at alpha 30. Now it is at alpha equal to 60 degrees. Now I will adjust here alpha to 90 degrees. And it is 90 plus 180. Symmetrically, I am going to trigger so that you can see the positive half cycle and negative half cycle same. 120 degrees. And here 180 plus 120 degrees. Right. So now I will run the system. And here you can see all the waveforms at a time at different values of firing angle alpha. Okay, now you can see here this waveform is at alpha equal to 30 degrees, where you can see black one is the output voltage, red one is the output current, and this is at alpha 60 degrees. And this exactly you can see it is triggering at 0.005 second, means alpha equal to 90 degrees. Because to complete one cycle, it is for 0.002 per 50 Hz. Similarly, here you can see it is at alpha equal to 120 degrees. So this is for R load, where you can see output voltage and output current, they are in phase, right? Similarly, you can see for RL load. Now I will replace the inductor load with RL. Load with RL. So see here I am replacing R by RL. Then the load will become resistive inductive load. And you all know that when there is a inductor in the load, the output current will lag the output voltage by some angle. So let me show you first this waveform at alpha equal 30 degrees, where you can see here you can see, right? Now this is the waveform at alpha equal to 30 degrees. And this at alpha equal 30 degrees, T1 is triggered. At alpha equal to 180 plus 30, that is 210 degrees, T2 is triggered. And T2 will take care of negative half cycle, T1 will take care of positive half cycle. and due to inductive in the load, inductance in the load, the current is lagging the voltage, then it is charging thereafter till discharge, right? So if I increase the inductor value, then you may get discontinuous current, but because due to low value of inductor, which is of 2 millihenry, you can see zero output current and zero output voltage. That is called discontinuous conduction operation, right? Now, similar waveform you can see at different values of firing angle alpha, right? Here you can see that is what I am going to share you now. So let me grab all these things and see. Now this is the waveform for RL load at different values of firing angle. So now we are focusing on output voltage only, output voltage and output current. So here you can see this is at alpha equal 30 degrees, all right, where the output voltage starting from this particular point. And actually at this particular point, the current has to become zero, but due to presence of inductor, it will take some time to discharge energy completely, right? And due to that one, T1 will be conduction state up to this particular point. So this is called conduction duration from this particular point to this particular point. And whereas from 0 to this particular point where the current is extinguishes to 0, that is called beta. So beta is the extinction angle here. It is measured from the reference point to the point at which the current extinguishes to 0. Similarly, you can see the output voltage and output current waveform at 60 degrees here, right? So you can see the output voltage and thereafter you can see the output current. And third waveform is for alpha equal to 90 degrees. And the fourth one is at alpha equal to 120 degrees. So similarly, you can take the waveform for any value of a firing angle from alpha equal 0 to 180 degrees, right? So this is how you will get the waveforms for single phase AC voltage controller with the R and RL load. Okay, so with this I will stop here. Thank you.